Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-1805. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. When SCP-1805 is in an active phase, it is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment cell in Site-17. When SCP-1805 is in an inactive phase, it is to be wrapped in a lint-free protective sheet and placed in a standard anomalous item locker. SCP-1805 does not require food, water, or oxygen, even during an active phase. SCP-1805 requires periodic cleaning with non-solvent-based antiseptic cleaners externally on a bi-weekly basis and internally on a weekly basis, as well as immediately after intimate contact. While in an active phase, SCP-1805 has shown willingness to perform such cleaning itself. In an inactive phase, such cleaning should be performed by D-Class personnel. Intimate contact is only permitted between SCP-1805 and approved test subjects. Imprinted test subjects shall be contained along with SCP-1805 until their termination. Under no circumstances should a living test subject be removed from SCP-1805's presence after imprinting. If separation of test subjects and SCP-1805 is necessary, early termination of test subjects by Foundation personnel is permitted. While SCP-1805 appears cooperative, any requests by it or imprinted test subjects shall require approval by a minimum of 2 Level 3 personnel or the site director. Description: SCP-1805 is a life-sized, anatomically correct female mannequin intended for use as an adult-themed doll. It was marketed under the trademark and manufactured by in 2000. It has a PVC skeleton with steel joints and flesh made of medical-grade silicon. The object shows considerable wear, with its original pigmentation faded or missing over roughly 30% of its surface. When SCP-1805 is in an inactive phase, it is indistinguishable from other products of similar manufacture. When an adult male subject intimately engages with SCP-1805, SCP-1805 will enter into an active phase and imprint on the subject. This active phase will persist as long as the imprinted subject remains alive and in the presence of SCP-1805, and will cease sometime between 5 and 10 days afterwards. In an active phase, SCP-1805 is capable of autonomous motion, speech, and intellectual activity. SCP-1805 appears to have mental and sensory capabilities comparable to a human female of 19 to 25 years of age. Its speech is clear and comprehensible, but it appears unable to alter either volume or inflection. SCP-1805 appears intelligent and possessive of a capacity for self-awareness, but is unwilling or unable to acknowledge the fact that it is not human. When asked about the events during its inactive phase, SCP-1805 will relate some fictional narrative, with SCP-1805 in the role of a housewife in a suburban setting, always as a spouse to the last subject SCP-1805 was imprinted to. It is suspected that these narratives are constructed by SCP-1805 around the imprinted subject as it enters an active phase. When SCP-1805 imprints on a subject, it will express extreme affection, devotion, and possessiveness for the subject, regardless of the subject's behavior toward SCP-1805. SCP-1805 will use terms of endearment with the subject, such as darling and beloved, and refer to the subject as its husband to third parties. SCP-1805 attempts to acquiesce to any expressed desire of the imprinted subject regardless of its nature, though actions seem subject to SCP-1805's understanding. SCP-1805 has upon occasion taken metaphorical or idiomatic expressions literally. SCP-1805 is also extremely possessive and will not permit the subject to leave SCP-1805's presence or vice versa. SCP-1805 will react violently to any attempts to separate them and will likely cause harm to the subject, itself, or others. SCP-1805 also will show extreme negative reaction to any suggestion that the subject does not reciprocate SCP-1805's affection or that the subject shares affection or even substantial interest for any other object or individual. This not only applies to current intimate interest by the subject, but to any sign of affection, interest, or attention, current, historical, or hypothetical. SCP-1805 has shown violent rages when subjects have expressed positive feelings for past girlfriends, pets, children, parents, and fictional characters. SCP-1805's devotion to an imprinted subject appears to subside upon death of the subject. No anomalous effects have been observed in test subjects themselves after imprinting. Addendum 1. Interview with SCP-1805, 1/12/2000. Interview I, 1805-27. Interviewer, Dr. Forward. As part of ongoing testing, SCP-1805 imprinted on D21344, a 45-year-old male offender with history of domestic violence. SCP-1805 was contained with D21344 for 84 hours before SCP-1805 terminated D21344. Interview conducted after the remains of D21344 were removed from containment. Begin log 1/12/2000, 11:30.
I want to ask you about D21344.
His name was John.
Why did you kill him?
He was false, an adulterer.
According to our records, he was divorced.
I should have been enough for him. He shouldn't have pretended to love me.
According to surveillance videos, he struck you at least 37 times, even when you were performing rather unpleasant requests from him. But you're saying he was pretending to love you.
You don't understand.
I admit, I don't.
Love, honor, and obey. Those were our vows. I took them seriously. John didn't.
End log. Closing statement. After 6 days, SCP-1805 entered an inactive state and was placed in storage. Addendum 2. Interview with SCP-1805, 5/28/2000. Interviewer, Dr. Forward. On 5/27/2000, SCP-1805 was involved in a near-containment breach when the imprinted test subject D12787 attempted to take SCP-1805 hostage. D12787 threatened SCP-1805 with a solvent apparently smuggled from D12787 demonstrated melting 30% of the silicon flesh off of SCP-1805's left forearm. SCP-1805 allowed this to occur as D12787 made demands for and a private plane. When Mobile Task Force agents were dispatched to the containment chamber, D12787 ordered SCP-1805 to kill them. SCP-1805 successfully strangled one agent to death before D12787 was terminated, after which SCP-1805 ceased attacking. During the attack, SCP-1805 was struck by 10 rounds of .45 caliber ammunition, causing significant damage to its torso, head, and left leg. Begin log 5/28/2000, 01/27.
You realized you murdered one of our agents.
Yes, I am sorry.
We sent them in to protect you.
I didn't have a choice. I pledged myself.
D12787 was willing to destroy you.
You don't understand. We were soulmates, created for each other. I could no more deny him than I could deny breathing.
You don't I know you were devoted to D12787.
Sam. His name was Sam.
He ordered you to kill all of the agents, but you stopped. Why?
Till death do us part, Doctor.
End log. Closing statement. SCP-1805 remained in an active state for 10 days after the termination of D12787, the longest time so far recorded. In that time, all gross physical damage to SCP-1805 repaired itself through an unknown mechanism. Repaired material showed additional loss of pigmentation and signs of wear. When SCP-1805 entered an inactive state, it was placed back in storage. Okay, I think that about does it for today. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye. I would like to give a special thank you to Zargaran, Oh Crap Guy, Rowan O'Brien, Chris Lawler, James Saba, Lost Boy, Signar, Your Local Foundation Agent, Zazapan, Cupster, Dean Dingus, Braided Peach, Kignack, Mr. Duchuk, Sarovos, Oscuro Vision, Grimnir, Extra Moments 123, Swift Raw, Ebivy, and Simon the Skink. If you would like a special thank you at the end of each of my videos, and some other cool stuff as well, visit patreon.com/TheVolgun. Thank you.